Hello, it is Tuesday the somethingth of October. The 5th. It's Tuesday the 5th of October and it's been a day already. So I got home at midnight last night from work. I was up far too early because I had to take Casper to his school today because Peter was taking Feliks to the city for his Covid Swab because his MEG is on Thursday. And I'm taking it for his MEG, so Peter took him for his Covid Swab today. So, I've been awake since like 6:45, 7 a.m. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, 6.5 hours of sleep is pretty good. However, I'm exhausted. So here we are. I've sat around for a little bit. It's like 11:30 in the morning, so I have 2 hours before I have to go to work. I'm hoping I see Peter and Feliks before I leave. So I think he said he's just gonna find like a Tim Hortons and then start his drive home. And it's midday, so I mean, like, really it should only take like an hour and a half if there's no traffic and accidents, 2 hours at the most. So we might be like 2 ships passing in the night, but I theoretically should see them before I leave for work. I just threw some laundry in. I have to make a lunch still, but there's some leftovers I can take and maybe some soup. And then I thought, you know, it's a really good time to sew. So here we are. I have like 500 projects cut out, and by 500 I mean it's obviously not 500, but it's a lot. And so my goal is to just keep plugging through things bits at a time and try and use up a ton of the fabric that I have, whether I'm making things in advance of Christmas for gifts, that's actually a really good idea, or making things for myself, or making things for my boys. We'll see. So I have this super delicious, it's like called like cloud waffle knit or something. It's so soft and squishy. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just waiting for my computer to finish updating so that I can pull up the instructions. I need to change my serger cones to as close a match as I can manage. It's not a perfect match, but I have this like brownish color and greenish color, and this fabric is a brownish greenish color, so I feel like that would be better than black. I think so. And then I've got like kind of like a off-white gray situation and white in my loopers. So I'm gonna do that first, and then hopefully, oh, it is up today. So then I'm gonna also open up the pattern so I know what I'm doing. All right, I've pulled up the instructions. So now we're just gonna re-thread this situation. Step 1 is figure out all of your pieces. That's a band. These are some bands. Yeah, those are some bands. What is this? Oh, these are probably cuffs. Are these cuffs? Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a band. Those are 2 bands. The downside, when you cut things out a long time ago, and then you expect yourself to put it together now, is you kind of begin to wonder, what are all these pieces? So I asked myself, what are all these pieces? Just put those over there. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. Won't we? All right, so we got some pockets. We're doing inseam pockets for this one because I didn't feel like doing, oh, maybe one of those was an arm. No, it wasn't an arm. These are the arms. Good gravy. What are you? Are you the front? You must be the fronts. which means you're the back. Okay, cool. Cool. So we need to measure 4 inches from the bottom edge. I used my Cricut and cut little ticky boos for the side of my desk, so I would know where to put thing. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I put like a little ruler on the edge of my desk here, specifically so that I could more easily measure things without having to like pull out my measuring tape. Comes in pretty handy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm supposed to stitch them, which means I have to change that thread. Oh, we're gonna need a different color bottoms. Now I'm gonna sew those edges, those shoulder seams. And by sew, I mean I'm gonna serge them.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I just put my laundry into the dryer. So that's good. Hopefully that'll be done. And then I'll have some clothes to wear to work. Though I am planning on wearing this sweater, so that'll be nice and cozy. I think I'm working by myself tonight. Unless they found someone last minute to fill in. But it seems unlikely, because no one really wants to work, you know, 3 to 11. I can't say I blame them. This is just going to require a lot of clips and a lot of delicate sewing around the pockets, just because of the style of pocket that I did in the seam. I'm going to pin this and then sew it, and then I'll come back, because otherwise this is going to be a lot of me just really quietly like concentrating. New vantage point. So I've sewn up one side seam including pocket, but I missed, of course. So I have my mom's like super old serger, for anyone who hasn't watched a sewing video before. And you can't put the knife blade down as far as I know. So I tried really hard to go around the pockets. I got the first one really good. I'm quite happy with that. But the second one, I definitely missed the corner. So I'm just gonna go over it with the sewing machine and just do like that and just sew it with a zigzag stitch, and that should do the trick. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I'm going to go and do the side seam on the other side. Figured out what that extra random bit of fabric was. So I decided to do tall bands, so you can either do like a narrow band around the whole thing, or you can do tall bands, and I put tall bands just because it's like more cozy. But I didn't have enough fabric, or perhaps when I was cutting it out, I didn't really place my pattern pieces appropriately. So I didn't have enough height in the fabric for all of the tall bands. So I cut 2 skinny strips. So I'm gonna sew the 2 skinny strips together, and then I'll have all 3 band pieces. And then we'll sew those together, and then we'll have to pin the crumbs out of it or clip it to the entire outside of the cardigan. But then I just have to sew that on and sew the cuffs on, and then it's done. So like, not bad. I'm gonna call that a win. So I've just finished sewing the band on, the neck band, and I'm just gonna make the cuffs, sew the cuffs on, and then it's done. So I just have to figure, I know I made tall cuffs, just have to figure out how they go. Okay, hold on, if they're going, that's the side seam. So, hamburger, hot dog. Let's see if that did the trick. There we go. Also, I'm getting super, super low on my lower looper cone. And I'm like, no, just please let there be enough there that I can finish this, because this is literally the last step. Like, I just have to put these cuffs on and then she done. And also camera battery, just hang in there, because, you know, I don't want to have to go get a new camera battery for just this one little bit. So now I just have to locate the sleeves in here. There's 1 and 2. Oh, it's gonna be so squishy. And then right sides together, put the cuff over the sleeve, like that, lining up the seams, and she good. So I usually just cuff them, especially like when they're little. I mean, not so much, it's not like they're kids cuffs, but like there's not a lot of wiggle room there. And if I keep adding clips to it, this gets a little intense. So I'll just do my best to make sure I catch all the layers. And again, there's only 1 seam on the sleeve, like the top doesn't have a seam. So the seam on my cuff matching to the seam on my sleeve. And then ideally, everything is lined up really nicely. And then I'm done, which is good because I have to leave in about 45 minutes. And I still have to shower and make a lunch. I should not have sat around for as long as I did this morning, but you know, I was tired. I'm downstairs. I'll be up in just a minute, just finishing a sweater. Daddy's home. Which means Felix is home.
I thought you said upstairs, so we went upstairs and then yo mommy. Hello mommy. Hello.
Hello! How are you, Swizzle Stick?
So good.
How are you, Swizzles?
So good.
Did you have a good snooze? What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Probably about half an hour all told.
Oh, that's it?
Woke up at like 12:35, I think.
Oh, well, maybe you'll get another nap this afternoon.
Maybe.
Hi, Chunk. Mm-hmm. Hello.
You want a friend for a minute? For the snugs? For the snugs.
Hi. Did you do such a good job? You see that? Yeah, Mommy's sewing. She's got 1 cuff left to do. That's done. Then she got to get ready for work. Yeah. Then she got to get ready for work. Gotta get ready for work. Hi. I love you. I love you. Mm-hmm. I do. I do. How's the traffic?
Medium. Yeah, we got in place with 20 minutes to spare, and then coming home there's a little more traffic in places.
Really? That's so surprising.
There's construction. Wasn't like a lot of cars or anything, but
What do you see?
a lane closed here, a lane closed there.